Hello and welcome back to Brightwells. This is a quick post-sale bit of narrative and video here just to mention some of the highlights of the sale. So in line with a lot of the current market trends, the pre-1980s cars have struggled slightly. There's definitely been a bit of a drop-off. But then again, extremely nice examples are still sought after and people will pay a bit of a premium for those cars. We set a couple of records in this sale. The Land Rover here behind me is one of them. But top price of the day went to a 1963 E-Type Series 1 3.8 fixed head coupe, which made just over £70,000, including buyer's premium, but not the VAT. A couple of other interesting lots made some strong money, and we'll talk about those in a second. This 1964 Aston Healey 3000 Mark III BJ8 made £50,400, completely restored, but unfortunately it didn't come with a lot of history. The vendor wasn't able to locate the restoration history, which slightly hampered its result. But interestingly, a bit like the E-Type we just mentioned before, a few years ago these would have made about £10,000 more than they're making at the moment. It's a sign of the times, the current market, the trends changing, etc. But still an awful lot of car for the money. Beautiful car as well. We had a blue one in the sale as well, left-hand drive one, and interestingly, being left-hand drive, again, hampered its value. Post-Brexit, the European market isn't as hungry for left-hand drive cars as it was pre-Brexit. So we'll have a look at other things that sold in the sale and check out a couple of other results. So still in the 1960s, again, another interesting result, 1963 Bentley S3 with just 3 owners from new and only about 49,500 miles. So we mentioned this car in a couple of our other videos from the Cotswold collection. This is well above average condition, and again, unfortunately not worth what it used to be worth 10 years ago, for example, but still made strong money at £36,000, and a lovely car going to a nice home that they've been looking for one for a long time. Strong money in the current market, so that's a good result, this one, and a nice car. So in terms of other standout results in cars, 1977 Triumph Stag with only 39,000 genuine miles and from new, made over £24,000, another record for Brightwells, but it just goes to show an excellent car can still make strong money even in a difficult marketplace, and there's also no shortage of Stags, but turns out there's a shortage of excellent Stags. Another strong result was the 1973 Triumph TR6 PI, a dark green car with wire wheels that we've seen before on one of our other videos before the sale, with a tan interior. That made over £40,000, which I believe is a UK national record and certainly a record for Brightwells. Strong money, but for an excellent car with a stiffer chassis upgrade and a fast road engine. So it just shows that nice touches like that, or nice little enhancements, can really work wonders for a car's value and a market appeal. It was hands and shoulders and heads, or heads, hands and shoulders above any other TR6 that we've seen in recent years. So again, lovely car, great result. So another cool car that did well in this sale was this 1976 Land Rover Series 3 88-inch that's had a sort of gentle resto mod by King Grig Customs. So the gentle resto mod seemed to work because the car made over £29,000, a record in Brightwells for a Series 3, and it just shows that we're good at Land Rovers, and Land Rovers are what we do every sale. So interesting result, great car. You'd look like the coolest dude in town if you rock up to a country pub in one of these things, or to a shoot perhaps. But anyway, it's off to its new home down in Devon, along with the E-Type, interestingly. So what a cool pair to take home. So another diverse entry made a strong result, this Alice Chalmers tractor from 1953. I mean, look at it, it's gorgeous. It made £4,704, and somebody's extremely pleased with it. But what a seating position. You're literally hanging off the back end, and you've got sort of skid steer, braking. Very exciting. Possibly a bit scary if the seat were to break if you fell off, but apart from that, looks ace. So we also had a brace of Aston 7s in the sale. We had this C-Cab van and a lovely little Chummy, both of which made over £14,000. Great result. Just proves that there is still a demand for Aston 7s and certain other types of vintage cars that are constant and don't seem to disappear. In fact, the Aston 7 markets continue to be buoyant and grow. So that's great news for this sector. Excellent stuff. And so here's one of my favourite cars in the sale, the Aston Martin Vantage. For me personally, I grew up coveting this shape and design, and then the 550 Vantage that followed. But the Vantage, interestingly, has always had a bit of a mixed relationship with the market. I remember when I was a youth, they were only about £12,000, and then they'd come up and come down and gone up again. So I think this car, for a manual that's done about 65,000 miles, did fairly well and made £28,000. I believe it's going to an Aston Martin specialist. So this one may well be back on the open market soon after a bit of fettling and a bit supplied with a warranty, etc. So I look forward to seeing it again and seeing what it makes in the hands of a specialist dealer, but we think it did quite well at £28,000. So I'd say not a bad result. Again, from the Cotswold collection, lovely thing. So for me, there are a couple of interesting aspects to the sale, or surprises we should say rather. One that did sell and sold very well was the Bugatti Type 35 replica, guided at just £6,000 to £8,000 and based on a humble Morris Marina. There was a frenzied bidding war, possibly the most viewed car on viewing day, and it made over £26,000, which is just bonkers considering. But the other surprise to me is one that didn't sell. It was this less than 15,000 mile Triumph Dolomite 1500 HL. Why did nobody want it? The bidding finished at £5,000. The reserve was £6,000, so we're not a million miles away. If anybody wants to make an offer, you're welcome to, but if not, it's going to be re-entered into our July the 31st sale with a slightly revised estimate, perhaps reflecting the market, maybe 5,750. But this is a steal. Why does nobody want it? It's fantastic. Less than 15,000 miles from new and unadulterated. Okay, so what many of you may not realise is the online auctions are a little bit similar to the traditional auctions, as in that when the last bid happens, the hammer falls. If it sells for the reserve or above, of course it's sold. But if it doesn't quite make the reserve, what happens is it's sold provisionally. What that means is the high bid takes precedence. So us as the middleman, Brightwells here, we phone the vendor, phone the high bidder and have a conversation and hopefully get a deal done, which is what happened on this lovely Land Rover 110 TD5. So this didn't quite reach the hammer, reach the reserve. The hammer fell at a figure just below. A deal was then done and orchestrated and it's sold for £33,000 plus fees. So interesting result for what is an awful lot of money's worth of kit here. So we're going to hand over now to my colleague Quinn, who's going to talk about the online garage sale. I think he's about to fall out or come out.
Hello.
One of the two.
Oh.
And get stuck.
Gracefully. Right, the online garage sale. That's day 2 of our sale here at Brightwells. We have everything from 1980s onwards. This sale we had everything from race-ready caterhams to camper vans to GT Tourers.
And some modern convertibles, some really interesting stuff was in the sale.
Yes.
I think we sold quite a lot. How many did we sell?
About 65%.
Yeah, nice.
Which is not bad, we're considering everything these days. So.
And it's a fledgling sale which is growing and growing and growing. The idea is to separate the more modern stuff out of the classic sale, because we've got criticised for having too much modern stuff in there, even though it's a classic car sale and everyone's definition of a classic changes. But the online garage is our new sale that's growing, isn't it, exponentially, really, definitely. And organically, with a wide array of vehicles, not just 1980s onwards, but some interesting projects too, but generally the 1980s onwards stuff, unless they're high value, what have you.
Yes,
so some good gear in there. So Quinn will take you outside and show you some of the stuff that did quite well and that's remaining here, because some of it's been taken already, isn't it?
Yeah, let's go have a look. So as coincidence has it, we were just walking over to film the Tiger that we had in sale as our new buyer and owner has arrived to pick it up. We've collared him and he's going to have to say a few words on camera now. But this car did exceedingly well, did much better than I thought it was, to be honest. It was in at a no reserve. It was an excellent thing. It's clearly been very well looked after. And it really took off. It got started about 1 million times on the viewing days. There was lots of interest. This guy was one of them. What caught your eye about it?
We've been looking for a while to get something similar. And my dad actually had a yellow one when I was growing up.
Oh,
and
nice.
Thought, just kind of caught my eye. And we both liked it, and yeah, we watched it with no reserve. I was actually away at the F1 at the weekend whilst the viewing was on, the bidding was on. So yeah, bit of online bidding, and yeah, thankfully managed to get it.
Well, awesome. You've got yourself a good thing. Hopefully it goes well for you. Here we have a Mercedes SL350. This went way over its reserve. It was in at £7,500. It went for 9.2, I believe, including buyer's premium. It's a really nice car, and it's exactly the kind of thing that we want in these auctions. They do really well, and people absolutely love them. And talking of cars that people love, these Volvo C70s. This is probably the 5th or 6th one we've had in just a few sales, and they always sell really well. You can't go wrong with them, I guess. And yeah, they're a cheap car for the money, really. We're now taking entries for our next online garage sale, which is going to be the 1st of August. It's going to be featuring our summer Matsuri sale with Japanese icons such as these. If you don't have a Japanese car, don't worry. The auction is going to be set up the same as our British icon sale we've just had. where we just feature Japanese cars at the end of the sale. If you'd like a highlighted video of your car, get in touch. It's just £50 and we can do a walk around video and a review of your car and try and get as much exposure for it on Car and Classic and for our viewers. Talking of the viewers, if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, do so. It really helps us out and we can try and promote your car far better in the future.